A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads lives only one. George R. R. Martin. I am Gian Claronino, and I will be sharing why I believe popular literature holds significance and can benefit our lives. Popular literature are stories that are written to appeal to a wider audience. Many can find it easier to read, and this can aid in developing reading and learning habits. It can range from works surrounding romance to mystery to adventures. These hold their own significant and unique stories and morals for us to learn from. Now, despite these books being easier to read, critical thinking will still be needed to understand what the books are trying to say. When you read a novel, especially one built around moral conflict, your brain is forced to ask hard questions. In Dan Brown's Inferno, we can view a story where a scientist believes that unleashing a plague upon humanity is the only way to save it from overpopulation and extinction. You ask yourself, is mass sacrifice ever justified for the greater good? Who gets to decide the value of a human life? What is the cost of doing nothing? This can help develop morality and expose us to the different themes and issues that reflect actual living situations. Many novels include a lot of details and descriptions that can be noticed throughout and thought about deeper. A nice example of this can be the Sherlock Holmes series and Dan Brown's Inferno. Both novels make us think critically and try to analyze what is happening. Readers would tend to try and predict or deduce what is happening or who the culprit is. This ability to observe and think critically is useful and applicable for everyday living. One of the most underrated things literature does is make you care about other people who are nothing like you in times and places they're completely different from your own. In The Great Gatsby, we can see Jay Gatsby, a man who has achieved everything society told him to want, and yet he is still left unsatisfied and lonely. Fitzgerald makes you feel that loneliness by showing you his empty mansion, used to host parties full of strangers, and the somewhat symbolic green light across the water that Gatsby never touches, reaches for but never touches. This helps with the development of emotional intelligence. Additionally, this story also shows us certain values and the consequences, whether they may be good or bad, of following through with these values. Inferno and Sherlock Holmes will challenge your morals and the way you think. The Great Gatsby will change the way you feel and which values you uphold. These will make you see the world a little differently than before you opened it. There are many different other books that you can choose from and more you can learn from. With popular literature, you don't need to be a veteran reader to start. You just need one book and hope and wish to grow.